Today is the first day of our clay project. We are going to be making hands out of clay using your hands to trace. And we'll turn them into little dishes that you could use to hold anything like jewelry, coins, candy, and they would be perfect for Mother's Day. When you get your clay, your first step is going to be to squeeze all of the air bubbles out of it and really start warming it up, almost like you're kneading some bread. Just squeeze it between both hands and turn it into kind of a blob. Then you need to start flattening it. We want it to be about the thickness of maybe one of those clay tools. You can actually use the clay tool to roll it out, or you can just use your hands to press on it. Make sure that you pick it up from the table and flip it over every so often so that you can get it evenly flat on both sides. This is a little bit tricky to do, so if you need help, make sure that you raise your hand or ask someone around you if they're having an easier time. Once you have it rolled out how you want, check and make sure that your whole hand will fit on the clay and that the clay isn't too small. Then lay one of your hands flat on the clay with your fingers together and start slowly tracing your hand going around the fingers. We will draw in lines for the hand after, so don't worry about that. Just do the outline. When you get to the bottom of your hand at your wrist, make a little circle underneath your hand to close your hand. Your next step is to cut out your hand. Use this flat clay tool, although you can also use a pencil or the other clay tool, to very carefully and slowly cut your hand out. Follow the lines and make sure that you're pushing the extra clay away from it so that you don't accidentally get confused. If you make a mistake here, you can always add more clay, or you can figure out a way to turn it into another kind of beautiful oops. To get it off of the table, you want to use one of these thin metal scrapers. These are also really tricky to use, so if you're not sure about it, raise your hand and a teacher can come and help you. After you get it peeled off, you're going to flip it over and you'll very carefully write your whole name. Make sure that you can read it and then write 2017 on your clay for this year so that we remember when you made your clay dish and what size your hand was when you made it. Now we're going to draw the lines for your fingers. In between each of your fingers, try to guess and draw lines about halfway down. It doesn't have to be perfect, and you can use your hand as a guide to look at. You can also draw fingernails on now if you want to. Our last step before we decorate is just to smooth the edges out a little bit. They might be a little bit rough from where you cut, so just go over with your finger along all the edges of your hand and smooth them out and round them out so that they're nice and smooth. And here is also where I decided to draw fingernails in. You don't have to draw fingernails if you don't want to, but they make kind of a cool detail if you decide that that's something you want to do. You can just use your pencil to carve in your clay, and we'll use your pencil again for making other designs once we start decorating. Now we're going to use our other clay tool to start decorating your hand with a bunch of different patterns. I'm using this small pointy clay tool, but I could have also used a pencil to make a pattern or a design of dots going all the way around my hand. I like these smaller dots, and I like that they repeat like a pattern. I think it's going to look really cool. Using my pencil eraser to make slightly bigger dots. You can use the eraser on your pencil, or if you find a different tool that you like to make bigger dots, or any other kind of design. Now I'm going to get a stamp from the yellow counter. We will only use one stamp at a time, so after I finish with this one, I'll put it back up on the yellow counter and choose another one if I decide that I want to do that. Instead, I decided that I was done, so I'm going to lay it very flat and carefully on the tray or the plate on my table. And I'm going to make sure that the fingers are bent up a little bit, and you can bend the sides too, so that it can be a dish that holds something. Your last step for cleanup is to make sure that all your clay tools and pencils are put back in the cup where your clay tools belong. Thanks for watching! I hope that you're having as much fun as Alfie and Mashka were playing. Do you think they're playing a little too rough though?